Alright. Okay, I'm really sorry if the acoustics in this room is not the greatest at the moment because the room is empty. We don't have any soft furnishings to soak up the sound in the room at the moment, but hopefully very, very soon. So I hope this video is not going to be too difficult to hear, but hopefully it shouldn't be. But anyway, yes, so today, I don't know, I was just looking back and I was thinking about the progress of the building and how far we've come and all the rest of it. And I just sat down and I thought to myself, wow, looking back, would I do this all again? Because, I mean, we haven't finished yet, but because it has been really, really hard. It has been like one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. Like, if you want to talk about continued stress, this right here, this is it. This is it. I've done a video before on, you know, weighing up building versus buying and that whole controversy in itself. I think most people would kind of have a rough idea of which category they'd fall into, but honestly, for those of us that have taken the journey to actually build, I feel like it's a better one, but it's definitely not an easy one. It's definitely not an easy one. It comes with a lot of stresses, and this whole process for us has been very difficult, very stressful, very capital intensive. Just when you think you can't take anymore, you keep going though. So it's one of those things where it's like, you've put your everything into it, you know the saying when they say you put your blood and sweat into something, this is it, building a house is it. So I think before you decide to start your journey on building a house, you need to make sure that, you know, you have the vim to keep going, because, I mean, we can see there are lots of abandoned buildings all over Ghana, and it's, you know, I mean, it's for varying reasons. Sometimes people have run out of money. Sometimes people are taking 10, 20 years to build because of finance. You know, some people have had just abandoned their building for one reason or another. You know, there are lots of various different reasons as to why someone would start building and stop, but it's definitely not out of choice. You know, I read a comment on one of my videos a while ago where someone made the comment, you know, why does it take so long for people to build a house and all the rest of it? It's because it is hard work. It's really hard work. A lot goes into it. Everything goes into it. Honestly, you have got to do a lot of sacrificing to get to where you really want to get to, and it is not easy. And the thing is, with building, there's 100 shortcuts that you could take that will get you there fast. 100, but would you be happy with the result afterwards? Probably not. You know, we've had people contact us and want to, you know, build in the mountain, and they say, I want to do it, but you know, I mean, I only want to use 50 bags of cement. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. I mean, I'm exaggerating. Don't get me wrong. I'm exaggerating. But, you know, sometimes people want you to cut corners for them, or, you know, in your own home, you might be tempted to cut corners in certain things. But trust me, it will come back to bite you in the bum later on. It's better to do things the right way and do it properly. For example, when we screeded this floor, the level that, yeah, this one above us, when we screeded this floor, we did 9 inches of concrete, and that is a lot. Some people say, why'd you have to do so much? You don't need to go that much, you're going the extra. Yes, we wanted to go the extra because we want to make sure that what we're doing is going to last. Not that if you do it thinner, it doesn't last. It does laugh. It does laugh. It does last. But perhaps when someone's walking upstairs, you hear the doom, doom, doom. If someone drops something on the floor, you hear a lot of it. But here, a lot of that sound has been like, you can't hear it, it's absorbed by the concrete, so you can't really notice it. So there are little things like that. Also, you know, someone starts a foundation. Foundation is really expensive because the whole house is going to sit on a foundation, so therefore, you have to have the right materials. The materials have got to be correct. You know, you've got to have a process, there's got to be an order. You cannot cut on a foundation, but many people would choose to cut on a foundation just because of the cost. And I always say, well, what's the point of doing that when in a few years time you're going to regret it, and for the sake of saving, I don't know, a couple of thousand cedis, you're going to give yourself, you know, triple, quadruple that amount of headache later on. It doesn't make sense. You know, like, people will skip on putting damp proofing down on the ground. Like, I really don't understand why. Well, I do understand why you want to do it, because it comes down to, a lot of it comes down to cost. It's not even education, a lot of it comes down to cost. But, you know, it's going to affect you later on, so you might as well do it properly once and for all. I'm all about doing things once and for all. And I don't like repair work. That's the last thing, because when I'm settled, I just want to be settled and know that, you know what, I am done. I've done all that I need to do. That's it. But if I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna have to do that, I'm gonna redo work all the time, and I'm gonna have to do a lot more maintenance to the house, and I don't really want to do that because I'm lazy like that. I don't really want to. I'd rather just do it once and get it over and done with. So to be honest with you, the progress of our house has been, I wish we could have gone faster, but you can't, you're limited with funds. You know, here in Ghana, yeah, you know, you get a company in and you think, okay, you know what, I'll just let them come in and kit out the whole house. But you have to have the money ready, because most people will give you free, they'll split your payments into 3 for you. Like, that is something that is really difficult for most people to do. You can't pay, like, most people are not allowed to pay over a year and come and install everything and walk away. Or they'll tell you, if you're lucky and you find a company, they'll say, okay, we can pay over the course of a year, you'll pay monthly, but we're not gonna install anything until you've made your last payment. So then you don't move. So it's like, it's really difficult, whereas in the West, you know, we have a lot of credit facilities for things. So, you know, if you want to do a similar kind of thing over there, you'd have maybe 5 years, 10 years to pay over, and it's just something that you just pay automatically. You wouldn't really think about it, but the work would be done, and you just continue paying for it. I know that breeds its own problems, but you know, it's a lot harder to build here than it is in other places. You know, your money has to be up front, so therefore sometimes you can't go as fast as what you would like to go. And you know, doing the structure of a house is so easy, but let me tell you something. When it comes to finishing, you go cry real tears, you go cry, because finishing, oh my gosh, I know that people have said, oh, finishing is the most expensive, but I can't tell you how much harder finishing is. Like this kitchen behind me, it has been hard. It has been hard because of the kitchen. Everything else has gone like almost at a snail's pace. Everything else that we wanted to do in the house has gone so slow because we have to pay for the kitchen. And it's hard. It is hard. Sometimes we don't know where the money is coming from. It is hard. It's one of the hardest things that you have to do, is to build a house. It will test you in every single angle. People will test you. You have to sacrifice. Your friends are going out. You have to sit at home because you don't have the money. Let's just be real here. You don't have the money. So if you're going to start a building project, you have to know and be strong in what you're doing and be focused, because otherwise you just can't do it. Honestly, like the videos I'm doing here right now, I feel so proud to be sitting in front of this kitchen, because I feel like when I look at it, this is the blood and the sweat and the tears. Finally, it's all come together, you know. But there's still certain things I would still really need to do in the house that I haven't done yet. That is like, I find it frustrating, but I'm just trying to turn a blind eye because right now I don't have the money. So like the shower trays, they still need to be done. I don't have the money right now, so it's one of those things that has to wait. The bathroom still don't have the vanity units. I don't have the money right now, so it's going to be a little bit inconvenient. So when we move upstairs, we're still going to have to go downstairs to have a shower, but that's just how it is. And you know, in a few years' time, when everything is done, we'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, what an adventure. You know, I think, personally speaking, the younger you are when you start building, the better it is for you, because it's just going to be so much easier for you to take. Because I can't imagine like being in my 70s and trying to build a house like this. It would be too much. I don't know if I'd even see the end. You know, it would just be too much. So I think if it's something that you can start, no matter how long it's going to take you to do, I think it's a good idea to start. Would I do this all over again? Absolutely, I definitely would do it all over again. Cash flow is what is always the problem here. It's all to do with cash flow. It's not necessarily the fact that you don't have whatever, it's cash flow. So you're forced to beg, borrow, and hopefully not steal, you know, to try and get ends to meet. You're trying to do this and that and just try and make things meet, and just so it becomes really, really hard, you know. But you just got to keep going. At the end of the day, you know, once we're done, honestly. But it's not an easy one, and it's certainly not for everybody. I'd say if you're going to start a building, make sure you'll be able to finish and make sure you stay focused, and just know, maybe you don't want to build a high-end house. You don't have to build a high-end house, no one says that, but you definitely do have to get your structure right. You have to make sure that is done right. Your internals can be low quality or medium quality or whatever quality. That doesn't matter. That's not going to affect, you know, if you buy a toilet and the toilet was 100 cedis, that's not going to affect anything if it goes wrong. But if you decide to buy blocks and the blocks are formed mostly with sand, trust me, it's going to affect you later on, and you're going to end up paying more. So, you know, when it comes to doing these things, it's easy to say, you know what, I'm gonna cut corners or whatever, but just don't do it. Just try not to be tempted to do it, because I've seen it so many times. I mean, you only need to walk up and down the street to see damp rising on people's houses, the fence wall, and what they do is they put the tiles on the outside so you can't see the fact that the damp is rising. But even though you put tiles there and you can't see the damp is rising, the damp is still there. You know, it's still giving off, especially if it's the house, it's still giving off all the bad fumes and the things that are wrong, that are going to disturb your lungs. It's still giving off all of that. So even though you can't see it, it's still actually a problem. So you haven't done anything. All you've done is put a plaster on top of it, but you haven't actually solved the issue. But anyway, I think I'm really talking quite a lot, aren't I? I'm sorry. Yeah, so you just need to make sure that once you start, you remain focused, and you need to be able to realize that you're gonna sacrifice along the way somewhere. But yeah, I'm pretty hopeful that we're gonna get things done. The deadline for the end of this month is coming, because today is currently what day? Today's the 22nd, and we have 31 days in this month, so we don't have very long. We have 9 days left. Are we gonna make it? I don't know, but I'm sure I'm gonna try my damnedest. Today we needed to buy some more wood, so that has come today, and we're gonna start. We need to do something upstairs. Anyway, all of that will be revealed. The upstairs will be revealed in its due time. I don't want to talk too much. But anyway, I think that's enough talking from me. I just turned on the camera and decided to talk today. I don't know. I didn't really have anything particular in mind, so I'm hoping that I haven't rabbited on and talked about so many different things that don't even make sense. So hopefully there is some sense to this video. I just wanted to come here and talk, and that's basically what I've done, so yeah. Anyway guys, that is it for today. If you haven't already subscribed, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button for me and the notification bell. And don't forget to do me a favor and like this video so more people get to see it. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, I am out.